doing a rear diff or final drive oil change on a 2019 Yamaha Wolverine. And drain plug, if you can see it, try and get the camera there. It's here at the bottom. You'll access it if you have to get the wrench in from the bottom. There's a hole there, and that's where that goes, and then this is the fill. Okay, the tools and supplies you need to do this job: a pan to drain the oil in, a funnel that you'll need to help get the oil back in. This is, I'll explain a little bit later. This is one I just made. You can certainly buy something that will accomplish the same thing at the auto parts store. A ratchet with a 14 mil shallow socket, and then a half quart about of basically the Yamaha gear oil. You can certainly source something that meets the same specification of GL45 at the auto parts store. I just prefer to use the Yamaha stuff. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get to the first step here. All right, the first thing I'm going to do here is get this fill bolt or drain plug cover off. Okay, got it. It's just a good idea, because the way I look at it is, if for some reason I can't get this bolt out, at least the machine is still drivable. Because if I do take out the drain plug and I drain all the oil out and I can't get it, then I've definitely got a problem. And at least this way the machine is drivable, and you can see this was filled right up to the line because there's just a touch of oil coming out. So next I'm going to go ahead and get the drain bolt out. Okay, so I'm going to reach in from the bottom here, and I'm going to go ahead and try and get this out. Okay, close. I'm going to do the rest with my hand. Okay. You can see there the oil is pouring out. It's pretty clean. The oil's pretty clean, which is good. There's a little more glitter in there from the wear and oil than I initially liked, so I'm doing this service a little sooner just to make sure everything's good. So all the oil's been drained out. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the drain plug back in. Just threading it with my hand. Okay, so I got it finger tight. So now I'm going to put my wrench, see if I can get you the best view of that. Put my wrench in from the bottom here. I'm just going to tighten it. And that's about all the pressure you need on it. Same thing with all the other kind of drain plugs that I talk about in my other videos. You just want it tight enough so it stays on, and not too tight where you strip it, but about that amount of force, it'll definitely stay on. I'm not worried about this coming off the machine. So let's move on to filling this. Okay, so I'm going to pour the oil in. So this is a special funnel I made out of things I have lying around the garage. I thought I'd explain it to you. So this is part of a funnel set you can buy for $2-3 at Harbor Freight. I love them. I always grab a set because I end up having to make stuff like this, and then I just buy another one for $2-3, and I have them sitting around for the next thing that comes up. And so then this is just a hose off of an oil transfer pump, and then there's a little cap that sticks in here, and then I forced this other piece of black hose that I had, and it's actually wedged into this other piece, so I just taped this on so it can't get pulled off, but it's actually solid, so no oil should drip out there. And so this is how I'm basically going to be able to get the oil into that rear diff without making a giant mess. You can absolutely buy funnels that do this. I just didn't have one on hand, and so I made this the first time I did one of these, and it's worked good enough, so I've continued to use it. Okay, so I'm going to take my funnel, I'm going to put this end into the rear diff, And then basically what I do, and try and make this so you can see it, I'll basically just pour some oil in, fill up my hose, and then I'll just go ahead and lift this up, which you won't be able to see because it's off camera, and just let the oil drain in. And I'll just do this until a little bit of oil drips out of the top there, and then I know I'm full. And then I'm not too worried about the mess, but you should, one bit of advice is, and I'll do that right now, is you can put a shop towel, shop rag underneath here so that when the oil does pour out, it'll hit the towel. And so basically, we're just going to go ahead and do this until it's full. Okay. So I'll bring the camera around. If you can see here, sorry. If you can see there, we're starting to get a little bit of oil dripping out, which means it's full. Pull out my line here. Yep, and a bit of oil's coming out, and that's okay. So now at this point, I got a towel underneath there that's catching the oil. If it fills up, I'll add another one. So we'll just let a little bit of that oil just drain off so that I know I'm full to the top. And basically at that point, I can put the cap back on that. You always want to properly recycle your oil. So I'm going to pour this oil, and gear oil can be recycled at your auto parts store. Just pour this into this container, and then I'll take it to the auto parts store and they will properly recycle it for me so it doesn't end up anywhere where it can hurt the environment. Okay, so there's really not any oil draining out of it. Small little bit, totally fine. So just going to go ahead and put this fill plug back in. Tighten it, and I really, once again, not that much torque. That's plenty. This drain bolt's not coming off. Alright, so the last thing to do is, I spilled a little oil. Not too worried about it because I can always clean it up. Just got some shop towels. Clean up all the areas so that way you can tell if there is any oil dripping out. And I'm not seeing anything. So top or bottom, so that's it. This is ready to go. As always, please comment and like below, and if you like my content, please subscribe to my channel.